Did you know over 60% of first-time clients do not return for a second visit? That is so painful, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's where Maya comes in. Maya is the ultimate marketing software for the beauty and wellness industry. We have a proprietary funnel utilizing special algorithms to help connect the right consumers with the right providers at your business. This means that Maya helps you get higher spending clients you love to work with who stay the long haul. If you want to increase your revenue, increase your client count, increase your average ticket, and increase your new client retention, then you need Maya. Go to joinmaya.com to set up your own personal virtual tour and see why over 500,000 consumers have trusted Maya and the businesses we work with to find their perfect beauty and wellness pro. We promise you will love Maya.
Thank you for joining me. This is Kati Whitledge with the Beyond the Technique podcast. Today, we're going to talk about how to elevate your employee experience. I have Nikki Lee back again. You may remember her way back from episode 391. You can't even find that through YouTube, maybe not even Spotify, but if you go to our website or the show notes, the fundamentals of managing your salon's money, that was the first topic that Nikki came in on. And she's brilliant with helping salons. She's a salon business coach, consultant, and leadership futurist who has dedicated over 2 decades to transforming the way entrepreneurs, salon owners, and service-based leaders grow their business. She's known for her creative and dynamic keynotes and ability to turn complex strategies into actionable steps. Nikki empowers audiences to recalibrate leadership, building thriving compensation ecosystems, and design businesses that serve both profit and people. With a background that bridges financial coaching, organizational psychology, and real-world entrepreneurship, Nikki blends a modern business approach with heart-centered and ego-free leadership. Her clients describe her as a catalyst for clarity, someone who sparks change while making growth feel accessible, exciting, and sustainable. I love Nikki. She has so much to offer. She's the HR department you didn't know you needed to have at your right hand for your salon. So without further ado, Nikki's here to help us elevate our employees' experience. So welcome, Nikki Lee.
Thank you so much, Katie, for welcoming me back. I have always just been such an admirer of all that you do, and I have thoroughly enjoyed just watching from afar and just enjoying every share that you do with your growth path. It's been, there's nothing that makes me happier than seeing a woman who is so heart-centered and so passionate about what she does, just give so much of it and help the industry so much. So bravo to you.
Thank you. It means a lot to have you as a cheerleader, and you are a competent woman who is just consistent. And that I applaud the most, because there are many areas in my life I didn't have consistency. And when you do, things really grow. And that is one of the things I notice about you that may not be front and center, but it's like the thing that drives it all is your consistency. And let me start with this, because you've been at this for quite some time. So many owners know you, trust you. You are trusted by major brands and business organizations within this industry. Did you start out as a hairstylist or a salon owner? Tell me what got you to where you are today.
No, so I started out when I was a baby. I was this industry was a bit accidental for me, to be honest. I was going to be a psychiatrist, psychologist person. And you know what's interesting? My life has come somewhat full circle, because now all of a sudden I find myself doing exactly what I imagined that I would be doing when I was younger, picking my career. It's so interesting. So I wasn't that beauty girl, I was a tomboy a bit. And then I just landed into the right place and opportunities were given to me and I just thrived in it. And there was a moment in my career that happened as I was partying my way through, beginning stages of becoming a stylist. I was having a lot of fun and didn't take it serious. And then all of a sudden there was a moment that shifted for me when I really helped a young girl that was being bullied by just pouring out my heart and just providing this transformation for her, that I realized whoa, this is like really powerful stuff that you can do for somebody else. And it just spoke to my heart as a female myself. And, being raised by a single mom and then being in an industry that was so female driven, it just spoke to my heart and soul. And so I found myself just 36 years later, deeply involved in this industry. And I feel like my path is just leading me here so much, to this point where I just I want to give back to this industry. I love this industry for so many reasons. And then I find we all have all questioned should be here, right? I mean, have we all like, is this even the right place for us? But boy, I keep coming back to it, and it just speaks to me.
Okay, so when you say you've been in this industry for that amount of time, it's mind blowing because if everybody's listening, go and watch today's conversation on our YouTube channel and you'll see the faces behind the names. And Nikki, I'm not blowing this smoke up your butt. I'm like, you have the most flawless skin and best looking.
Oh
I don't
my
know how you do
God,
it. I'm
thank
telling
you.
you,
It's
you
held all together by
vibrant,
glue,
you're
lashes, and
glowing.
extensions, girl.
You're glowing. I just love it. I just love it. And you do have a heart for salon owners, and there is no most salon owners are in the dark. They rely on themselves and social media and anything they can find online to help them manage and run the business and learn business acumen because it's not something that typically salon owners have gone through.
Right.
Most of us, myself included, don't have a 4-year typical college education or degree. So to have somebody like you who can help us with all of those things that don't come naturally for us is so important. And
Yeah.
today we are talking to salon owners about elevating the employee experience. Why is that like critical right now for salon owners to pay attention to and think about how they can elevate their employees' experiences at their salon?
Right. Well, I would say most salon owners start off in the industry becoming a stylist, and then they decide to become an entrepreneur or start a salon because they want to, maybe they're not happy in the place they're in, right? So maybe they feel like there's not enough growth path or enough support or enough marketing or enough compensation growth or enough all of these things that are so important. So then they leave and they start their own business. And then when they start their own business, we're just duplicating more of the same. And we don't want to do that. We want to change what we're doing. And I think it's critical because the change is happening with or without our consent. It's happening. And the shift is happening for many reasons, for social media, for access to phones, for competitive, our marketplace is competitive. We're losing beauty industry professionals to other industries since the pandemic. People are cutting their hours, for an independently owned employee-based salon, things have gotten harder and harder and harder to play in the marketplace. But I believe that those type of salons are one of the core pillars of the beauty industry. It's not the only end all be all, but it's certainly that beautifully run salon where the owner just takes great care of the team and builds structure is so important. It's critical for many reasons. One, because we are in a marketplace that is shifting away from the employee based salon. Not that they're going to go away, they're never going to go away, but they're forcing owners in that situation to consider and reconsider the things that they're doing inside. When we were growing up, I was saying this to you before we started, when we were growing up, we were just like told what to do. We did it because that was the culture that we grew up around. That was our generation. This generation has grown up differently. They need meaning attached to things. They need to understand that there's a growth path in front of them. They need clarity. And you need to give this to them in the employee experience. No longer are okay, generally speaking, to work in salons that don't provide those things. So they're going to, and then they view employership a little differently too. So they don't really understand the employment relationship because of the confusing, are you an employee? Are you self-employed? Like, are we booth rental? Are we not booth rental? I mean, there's all this confusion, right? And so to create clarity for that so that people are compliant, first of all. Secondly, they're addressing the employee's needs. When we were growing up, our owners never thought about our needs. They were just like, work for us. This is our policy. Follow it or get out. Like it was pretty simple. Not the same anymore. We are in an employee market. They have the advantage. We no longer, as an employer, have the advantage. Maybe one day we will again. I don't know. All I know is we have to address the now And the now is that employees require a more enhanced employee experience that's more clear, that's more concise, that has more meaning, more depth, and it has to have scalability, meaning their careers have to be lined up in front of them. They have to see where the next step is, where they're going to grow from income, compensation, tipping, skill sets, responsibilities, all of those things. So if an owner wants to compete in a marketplace that we are operating at a disadvantage, if you want to play the game to win and you want to progressively grow your company with more employees, you're going to learn to deepen that employee experience. It's your number one thing to focus on, the project to focus on to compete against self-employment, booth rental, and all of those things. Not saying to make those go away. They serve their purpose, but stay in your lane and do it really, really well.
And do you feel that, like, where does this begin? Does this begin for the salon as the way they market themselves to new hires? And then, like, how does this begin where a new employee looking to find the right salon for them is saying, oh, this place, because they have these things? Like, what would they be looking for? And what should salon owners start with to make sure that they're attracting people that, and even being able to attract people, right, is hard sometimes.
Yeah, that is such a great question. Honestly, a lot of people don't ask that question. I think it really begins with internal work. You know, it's like when you're recruiting, right? So if you're going to recruit, recruitment is like marketing these days. It's not just putting an ad out, we're looking for someone, we're hiring, a sign in the window. That is not recruitment anymore. Recruitment is different now. It's like a marketing machine, right? So and you're a marketing guru, you know this. If you are going to be more successful with a campaign and get better return on investment for what you're putting into your campaign, you've got to prepare for the campaign first, right? So you got to know what you're offering. It's like going in the marketplace and selling something and not knowing what you're selling. It's the same. So you got to know what you're selling first. You got to know what you're recruiting to. So that requires internal work. If you don't know what that internal work, that's what coaches are for. That's what business support consultants, HR, payroll companies, all of these things. Get a hold of those people and build yourself a strong external team. It starts by building a strong external team of consultants, of advisors, of people that are going to teach you how to play the game. Second, it's preparing your offers. So you've got to really think about what your company needs, the hours that you need filled, the skill sets that you need, the job descriptions that you need filled, all of those kinds of things. That is the beginning layer of the employee experience. Build all that out first. Then consider all the ways that you're going to sell it. The website, your careers page, if you don't have a strong careers page, this is number one project for you. Start with that. Put everything you can on there. Now they have these platforms. Software and digital transitions have made your life like brilliant, by the way. Salon owners leverage this. Just like Maya is a marketing platform, recruitment platforms are called ATS, or applicant tracking software. And so you can use applicant tracking softwares to, and most of your HR companies will have this, build these out. You have these specific job descriptions, have the names for the positions, have the scalability built in, like junior stylist or cosmetology intern, junior stylist, established hire, hires that or senior level stylist or master colorist. Or again, get specific about what you're looking for. Then build up the scalability of how you're going to grow that, price points, what the hiring process looks like. Meaning, when you do an audition or a demo, it should look different for every single kind of job. If you're demoing for a front desk, that's a different kind of demo or an audition. If you're demoing for a senior level hire, that's an artist or a master colorist, that should look different than a junior level cosmetology intern. So structuring this so that you, the owner, are delivering this message in a very, very clear way, start there. Then from there, you'll find the right people some of the time. Some of the time you won't, and that's okay. But once you do, then you can move into the next phase, which is, what does that interview process look like? And then how will you hire them? And then how will you onboard them? And then from there, how are you going to train them? And then how do you level them up and grow them? And then once they are grown and leveled up and they're senior, how do you continue to get them to have longevity in your company? How do you build tenure? And how do you build longevity for these top producers? This requires
Yeah.
different compensation packages and things like this.
Yeah, let's talk about that because the generation that I love the most that is new into this industry, they will work hard
Yeah.
because if they see that there's a path for growth in front of them, they're going to show up and do what it takes to make that happen for themselves. And so what I'm noticing, and you might notice this as well, is they expect to move up a lot quicker than we had in our
Yep.
past, career advancements.
Yep.
What kind of speed are you noticing that they expect? And are there any mistakes owners are making that kind of put out the flame? Let's say I'm newly hired, I'm fired up, I'm onboarding, I'm training, I'm doing all the things. Is there like a critical year, like, hey, in that third year mark, you really got to have this pizzazz, these things that elevate their continued experience at your salon to keep them? So, what are your thoughts on those?
So I would say one of the biggest mistakes I see owners make is when they're hiring to one box instead of creating personalized roles and relationships. You need to personally connect with each person to understand where they're at. You need to meet them where they're at. Meaning, you're not going to shove somebody who's been out of cosmetology school 2 years, who's been working in a salon already, into a 2-year training program. That's no longer viable. So somebody who graduates from cosmetology school, we don't know what their skill sets. You can't assume that they don't know how to do certain things yet. Maybe they've already been working in a salon. Maybe they've been working from home, without a license. We don't know this, right? So you have to see their skill set. You have to assess what they're doing and where their skills are. Meet them, which means you need to be employee centric now instead of employer centric. So reverse that. So go towards them and see what they need. Have the systems properly vetted for that. So again, that's not hard. It sounds hard, but it's actually quite easy. It's in the interview process that you start to, check these things out. Then you place them into customized training timeframes that make sense. Just saying I have a 6-month training program is not really the best way to approach it, because some people might need more than 6 months. Some people might need only 3 months. Some people need only 1 month. I don't know. Everyone's a little different, right? But the day and age of the 2-year training program is over. It's over. And but unless you have a formal apprenticeship program, then that is a 2-year program. That is somebody who is starting from the ground up into the basics throughout the entire, that's a 2-year program. That is not, and they're willing to do that. On the other side of it, if you have somebody that's coming from another salon 4 years in, etc., with some basic, skill sets and things like that, but still need a little training, then it needs to be more customized, and that needs to be a shorter time frame. So building out what we call a customized training agreement or a training calendar, I think is going to be one of the key things that you can do to resolve that.
And it sounds like that's based almost on a one by one basis.
It is always on a one-by-one basis, always. Yeah.
Okay, well, where do owners fall short? Let's say we hit the 5 year mark behind the chair and we feel like, where could I possibly go next? In most, even beauty schools, they're taught how to be independent and the benefits of salon ownership for themselves, or
Mhm.
if they have a team, whatever. So it's almost like it's ingrained that that is the next logical step for them. Whereas
Right.
salon owners are like, we don't want that. Let's stay a team. Let's stay together and I will work with you. How do you customize and continue to look at that as a one-on-one experience for your senior level stylist? And when
Yeah.
I say 5+ years, because that's kind of a shifting time frame where you brought up tenure earlier, and that can, even for many salon owners, be hard to get team members to stay past the 5 year mark. What are your thoughts on that?
So, first of all, that is something that I deal with every day in my coaching clients. That is one of the things that salon owners ask about all the time, because it's super painful to lose someone that has been with you 5, 7, 10 years. It's super painful, because you've nurtured and you've grown and you've, trained and all the things, right? But I find that it lives inside of the compensation. And it's not only pay. It's not only pay. I'm saying it's only 50% of the puzzle. There's a whole nother part of the puzzle too. They have to feel that there has been a shift towards less control. They want the career control. So manifest this idea in your mind of career control in a visual sense, right? So like this power struggle, this tug and pull that salon owners and top talent do, or most employees do. But is that in the beginning, you have a junior level that requires more confidence building, and they're less likely to want more career control. They want to feel, nurtured and giving feedback and trained and all of those things. But a top talent, they want they want more career control from themselves, and they want to feel less of it from you. So you have to be able to have those things to train self-management into those people and let them fly. The other part of it, where I see a lot of salon owners really kind of struggling, is they choose one pay plan where they have zero knowledge around all of the other ways. And they shove and shoehorn everyone into this one pay plan. And that one pay plan doesn't encompass the growth and the production and the contribution and the level of just complete stellar performance. They want performance, but they don't reward performance, right? They want higher performance, but they don't pay higher performance. They shove everyone into this one methodology. And then they wonder why top talent is like, I'm out, because where else do I go? And I have to tell you, not every top talent wants to leave a team environment. A lot of top talent is like, I have to leave this team environment because there's nowhere else for me to go. And you are not allowing me to feel that I am continuing to grow in myself and to be who I want to be, and then to allow me to contribute back into this company in the powerful ways that I want to. If they can get over that hump, if they can push through that, and I say go to building out performance-based pay plans, not static or flat rates. Build out these what we call performance-based. This is where you will start to see people be much more intrigued in what you got going on in top talent level, and also much more engaged.
Okay, I have to pause and just give you a plug because owners listening are like, I want to know what that performance-based plan is. Okay, so we're not going to talk about that today. You're going to have to go to our show notes and click through to Nikki's website and begin a conversation with her, because this is what she does. She coaches and consults salons and helps them build these programs out. And it may look different depending on the market you're in. And it sounds like it's got to be based on your team roster. Even
It
when we're
does.
thinking about marketing, if you have a heavier roster of new talent, you got to maybe raise the prices to cover the business goals, even though, you know what I mean? And if you're heavier on senior staff, things can be shifted in that way as well. So I'm
Right.
just putting that in there because I want people to start that conversation with you. This is what you were originally on the podcast with me about, is financial understanding. And
Right.
I love that you brought that up. Is there anything that you're seeing that elevates the employee experience that's not tied to pay, but they find high value in?
So yes, I have felt that. So I feel that you got to look at your employee experience as sort of an entire ecosystem, right? Of all the elements that you have. So compensation structure is just one part of it. Then there's like the benefits and the amenities, right? And then it's the career ladder. So I'm going to say start where you can start is the career ladder. Build out your career ladder. I liken this to military. So if you look at the military, you have private first class, sergeant, sergeant first class, all the way up to general and general 4-star, right? So this is what we call a career infrastructure built into an industry. Our industry needs a career infrastructure. It's lacking in that way. And, yes, are we trying? I still talk to saloners that aren't doing tiered pricing. I mean, to me, tiered pricing is it's a basic fundamental. And so having tiered pricing, career ladders that have aligning price points, aligning pay plans, what you're doing is you're building, it's like an accordion. Right now, your company is like a closed accordion, right? But visualize your company. If you want it to grow, you have to expand the accordion so that you have all of these steps inside of it. I want you guys to expand that accordion and then have that larger scale that's happening inside. Your employees have to feel it in their bones and see it visually and hear it talked about and see it promoted on your careers pages and all the things, all of the offerings that you have as they continue to grow their career. How else do you get to have somebody that stays 40 years, 30 years with you? If that's what you want to do, that's what you have to build out. It's not just nilly-willy anymore. It's not like, oh, I give them everything. I know what owners are going to say. I give them everything. I understand owners are very generous, but they're generous in ways that aren't calculated and intentional. You have to be calculated and intentional because it has to serve both the employer and the employee, you know?
Yep.
So things like that, I would say.
Ah, I love it. I love it. What's been your favorite thing in the last year about working with salon owners who are open and willing and eager to evolve?
Okay, so many things, but I would say a couple of moments really, really just lit my fire this year. And that was seeing owners have these aha moments of working together and they reconnected with their team. You know, these owners that are like, my team is stagnant. They're grinding. They're working so hard. I don't know how to reward them. You know, they just think that they just need to go get a booth or a suite, which again, I'm not saying anything bad against. Please, if somebody is wanting to be self-employed, there's not a thing you're going to do to stop that. They're going to be self-employed, and that's okay. That's okay. Just like you want to be self-employed, that's okay. But the thing that I would say that helped me is that it moved me to tears actually a few times this year was this purposeful, intentional method of evaluation for KPIs and goal setting, and then connecting with them so that the team was like, I'm seeing the picture. I have it. I got it. I'm on board. And this sort of realization just helped these owners that I work with just go, it's unbelievable how different they are now because they have this full picture in front of them of what's expected, of what I should do, of how I can contribute, of how I'm valued. And it's just so gratifying to me to have owners seeing their employees feel so valued. You know, I just, it hurts my heart to see owners struggling with people seeing that they just don't have places to go or growth to happen there. But
Mm.
boy, when it happens, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see.
Well, speaking of places to go, you have this amazing event coming up in the new year. Tell
Mhm.
us what that is and how special this is for salon owners.
So this is a passion project for me. During the pandemic, one of the things that I did, I don't know if you know this, Katie, but one of the things that I did was I worked night and day with my team to help support business owners through those PPP loans and through the shutdowns. I mean, it was night and day. And it actually gave me a sense of sanity, if you really wanted me to be honest. But what I realized, there was like a moment of realization in all of that, was that owners are so fatigued. And imagine that you are trying to run this successful business in this time right now, and you are operating at a disadvantage in so many ways that we don't have to get into, but you guys all know the ways. You live it every day. And owners are so fatigued, leaders are so fatigued. I'm hearing about burnout on a daily basis. I'm hearing that they're just feeling exhausted and tired and or just not sure what to do next, not sure what the next best step is. And this difficulty that they're having in making these shifts in HR. I created the Elevate Leadership Retreat specifically for this audience. It's so important to me to support and be advocate. I want to be an employer advocate at my heart. And so this is my way of creating this beautiful experience for leaders, salon owners, other business owners too. It doesn't have to be just salon owners, spa owners, gym owners. I work with some gym owners and different companies like that, where if you're a leader feeling fatigued, burnt out, overwhelmed, and you just need to take a pause and disrupt your grind and just come into a space where you feel valued, you feel centered, rested, rejuvenated, renewed. This is the space. This is what I'm creating. It's a 5-night, 6-day experience in Tulum, Mexico, in this gorgeous place called Cabalum. And we are filling the days with just the most amazing experiences. So you just leave completely enriched. And there's also 5 leadership webinar sessions prior to the event So we can just do a ton of work together to build the structures out beforehand. And our star player, our star experience of this entire retreat is that we will have a full-time video crew there, not just to film content for us and for you, for your social media as well, to share what you've been doing to grow your leadership, but also personal videos of you speaking your leadership recalibration messages. So we are trying to create an event to help encapsulate your evolution as a really stellar leader so that you can share it out into the marketplace with thought leadership, with these beautiful videos for recruitment, for employee training, just to share who you are. And they're going to just be filmed in these like really luxurious settings. So I just can't wait. We want to create, what I'm trying to help owners create is a legacy, a leadership brand and a leadership legacy. And I'm hoping that that's what we really can capture in this event. So I hope you guys join in. It's not a big event. Right now we have to cap it at 32, but I'm hoping that the event space will be able to open up a little bit more accommodations that they're building currently so that we can house a few more. But to be honest, I want to keep it very intimate. So just because of the amount of energy that we're pouring into every single experience. So
Oh
yeah,
my gosh, it sounds amazing. And I've seen teasers of the location because you've been there and it's
yeah, yeah.
absolutely luxurious is the word. And like sign
It's
me up for
just
that every
so
day.
amazing. It's so amazing. And this
Yeah.
team that is located at Kowloon, their whole purpose is to design incredible experiences. That's their mission. And so that's really why I chose them, so that they are going to create these little things like we have a private chef that's going to be there, a private chef team, not one chef, but a team that's just going to be creating these amazingly beautiful
Yeah.
meals for us. And
I
morning
think
nutritionals and all the things.
Yeah, and I think it's such a value add, all of the lead up opportunities that this group will have together. So when they finally meet, then you feel like you're with your people that you've gotten to know. So I love the intimacy factor. I think that helps owners become more transparent and vulnerable. And that is what leads to more growth with each other. So thank you for sharing that. And for everybody listening, yes, that's in our show notes. Go be one of the only 32 that can be there. It'd be worth it for you. And what a great opportunity. As you work to elevate your employee experience, this is to elevate your experience as a salon owner. So please get in
Yes.
on that. Nikki, before we're completely done connecting, just today, we're going to do this many more times, I'm sure, in the future, but maybe we won't wait 300 episodes in
I
between
know.
next time.
I
But you
know. It's
tell
not.
me, what would be some final words of encouragement for everybody listening today?
Well, I would say that embrace the change. Just embrace the change. It's going to be okay. I promise. And there is not a thing that HR infrastructure and concepts, there is not a thing that there is not an answer for. That's what I would tell you. There is an answer for every situation that you're having. Don't feel hopeless about any of that. I promise you. It's so interesting. Once you hear the answer, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I totally get that. That's perfect." And then it's just really about learning the implementation. Don't feel hopeless ever, because I promise you, there's so many resources. I mean, just like with Maya, just because you can't, don't feel hopeless that your salon is slow or your chairs are slow. There's ways around this. There's a solution for every single problem. I promise you. You just have to find the person that's going to help you get there.
Well, I was just going to say, and you make it so that they're not in this by themselves.
Yeah,
So very, very
yeah.
cool. Thank you so much, my friend, for being with me today.
I love it so much, and thank you for giving me a chance and an opportunity to share my thoughts and my beliefs with your audience. So thank you.
My pleasure. And thank you all for joining us here week after week at Beyond the Technique. We're really here to change the way that you are supported in your business. If you love this platform, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening so that more people like yourself will discover Beyond the Technique. Until next time, friends, have an awesome day and stay strong.